Hello, this is Dave Mass for HolmesCountyTicket.com. Welcome to Ticket TV, driven by Village Motors. We are joined in studio today by Hiland soccer coach Scott Bodiker. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks, glad to be here.
All right, Scott, you guys have had so much success over the years, and just you continue to just reload and reload. You lose a big group, you reload. You lose a big group, you reload. Last year's group of seniors, a very large and deep and talented group. You see them leave now again, and do you reload once again this year?
Yeah, last year's senior group was, I think, a special group in many ways. It was a group with a number of kids, and a lot of those kids had really devoted a lot of time and energy, physically and emotionally to the soccer program. And so they were a real special group in that regard, and we're going to miss those guys. They've been great this summer, and even as we've started practice, being kind of around, helping. A few of them are playing in college this year. So they've stayed active with the program, and that's really rewarding as a coach to see, your graduates want to take an active interest. And the good news is, we've got some good groups coming behind them. We've got 18 juniors and seniors again, so we've got some experience, and hopefully it is reload and make another good run here through the season and into tournament time.
Every year you continue to make it big, deep runs into the tournament. And considering that Hiland, I think, is considered a basketball school and it's got a lot of good sports programs, the number of kids coming out for soccer continues to be high. I think that speaks volumes for your program and for the success you've had. Is there a secret to keeping this ball rolling?
I don't know the answer to that. I think we've tried to be successful, and we've tried to make being a part of the soccer program a fun thing to do. And when you have success and kids have fun, then that attracts people. But it also goes in cycles. We have our largest high school team we've ever had this year. We have 41 kids in 9th through 12th grade. At the same time, we have the smallest junior high team we've ever had since I've been at Hiland. So, it does kind of go in cycles, and I expect in the next couple of years our numbers are going to be a little lower as those junior high kids come through the high school. But we hope kids are continue to be attracted. We've had success, and I think the kids have fun, and that's what it should be all about.
Let's talk a little bit about personnel here. It starts in goal, I think. You've got had a couple of very capable keepers last year. Tyler Hostetler ended up kind of earning that position. Really, it wasn't just given to him, but I thought he did a nice job of earning that spot last year. Has anything changed in goal this year?
Well, we got the same two guys back, Tyler Hostetler, senior, and Taylor Raber, a junior. Last year, early in the season, we kind of split them on and off, and it was really neck and neck. And then, unfortunately for Taylor, he kind of got hurt in the middle of the season last year. And when that happened, he couldn't play a few games, and Tyler kind of became the full-time guy, and he just really took the opportunity and ran with it. And then when Taylor was back healthy, it was hard to justify, making a switch when Tyler was playing so well. So they're battling it out here again this year, and unfortunately Taylor is a little bit dinged up right now too, with his foot isn't quite 100%, and he had a lot of success with the baseball team and was gone, so he's playing a little catch up. But I think those two guys are really both pushing each other, and am pretty confident that we're going to be okay with either one of them.
And across the field, you guys replace just almost a blanket of seniors there across the field. Is there anybody that stepped up at this point and really kind of filled in some really key spots? Grant Stoots been a prolific scorer and really quick up front.
Yeah. We had a nice mix of seniors last year, although, the reality is the second half of the season, we kind of settled on a defensive group that had a core of, Enos Miller and Brennan Coyle and Josh Phillips and Braxton Mullet. And then our underclassmen that were our goalies, the only senior that played significant minutes was Cole Reynolds. Mm-hmm. And we're sure going to miss Cole, but feel like, especially with that core group of four on defense, Brennan, Enos, Josh, and Braxton, I would say we got that's our most experienced spot on the field. In the midfield, we don't return much experience. Losing Caleb Miller and Cam Stutzman was a big loss. And then kind of in our outside wing spots, losing Trey and also losing Grant were big losses. And we had Alec Mast and Spencer and Yoder, Mikey Sanchez, Pat Straits that filled in all those spots too. So the midfield is definitely our biggest question mark.
But you do have some talent there coming back. I mean, Zach Lau has proven that he can play, and he's a solid contributor. Josiah Kozer is also really, and he played some key minutes in last year's regional tournament, I know.
Yeah, having a strong group of guys. We have a large junior class, 12, and having some guys step up from JV. I have said on a few occasions, we had kids last year on the JV that I think many places would have been varsity players. You mentioned a couple of them there, Josiah and Zach, Brandon Kozak, and Garrett Snow. I think in particular, those 4 guys were really probably ready to play some with the varsity last year, and we just didn't have a spot for them. And add to that Jeff and Alex Mast, who I think are ready to step into that forward midfield role. So we're confident that we're bringing some good guys along, but they don't have varsity experience. Right. So, it's going to be a learning curve, but I think eventually we're going to be in good shape there.
Can you replace the scoring that's gone now? I think that's going to be a key. I think defensively, you're very confident in the group you've got. Where will the scoring come from?
Well, that's a good question. We've struggled. We've struggled a little to put the ball in the net here in our first couple scrimmages. We haven't struggled to create chances, which is the encouraging thing. But we got to find somebody that's going to finish it. I think last year we scored 66 goals, and 56 or 57 of them graduated. So, and of those 9 or 10 goals that returned, 7 of them were Hunter Herrera. And so we're going to certainly count on him to step up his game. And he's done a nice job throughout the offseason being a good leader. But then, from that group that I mentioned, we're going to need Jeff Mast, Alex Mast, Garrett Snow, Zach Lau, Brandon Kozak. We haven't mentioned John Phillips yet. Yeah. He played in a little more of a defensive role in midfield last year, and this year we're probably going to move him up the field a little bit more. So between that group, I think it's going to be goal scoring by committee. Yeah. I'm not sure we're going to have a 20-goal scorer like we had in Grant last year, but if we could get several guys in the 8 to 12 range, then I would feel good about that.
See, every year somebody just steps up, and I'm sure this year will probably be no different. You'll have some kids that just show up and end up becoming the players that you need to fill those roles.
Yeah, and that's one of the most fun things about coaching is it's a challenge every year to figure out how you fit those pieces together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. And, guys, when you've had success, and especially for the kids who are now juniors who have had to kind of patiently wait their turn, I think they step into that situation with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder saying, all right, now it's my turn. I don't want to be the one that sort of lets the program down. We've been successful, and we're going to make sure that continues now that it's my turn.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Get out and support the Hawks this year. It should be a fun, exciting season. This team continues to roll along, and they're hoping to make it back to regionals, maybe taking it one step further this time around.
Well, we sure hope so. Obviously, it's a broken record. We play the same team every year, and we'd sure like another shot at them this year. We know they're going to be good, and hopefully we can get to that level too.
Yeah. All right. For HolmesCountyTicket.com, I'm Dave Master, your host, and thanks for joining us.